took care of people like him, and his tax bill that he said was middle class, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't. He made the game solidified for people like him.
Well, and that's where I'm going to begin. Thank you, brother. I'll see you.
You'll do it better, and I'll be watching. I love you.
Love you too, brother. I'll talk to you later. This is CNN Tonight. I'm Don Lemon. I hope you're mad. You should be mad. I shouldn't say I hope you're mad. You should be mad. Because this is our breaking news tonight. We are less than 24 hours away from the first presidential debate of 2020. Donald Trump and Joe Biden set to go head-to-head tomorrow night with Election Day just 36 days away. And this president is likely going to be forced to talk about the secrets that he's been trying to hide for years. The secrets in his tax returns. You heard Chris. That's why I didn't want people to know. That's why I didn't want you to see it. Undercuts his businessman, I'm a great businessman thing. You know, if he had just saved the money that he inherited from his father, he'd probably be richer than he is now. Tonight, as we go on the air, the New York Times has just put out new reporting calling the man most of America met on The Apprentice, the man who's now the President of the United States, the fictional alter ego of the real Donald Trump. Now we know the difference between the person Donald Trump has been selling America and the real Trump. The weak Trump. The one who is buried in debt and running a giant shell game, even in the White House. Now we know the truth behind the facade of a billionaire businessman. That explosive investigation by the New York Times finding Donald Trump didn't pay even 1 penny in federal income tax in 10 of the 15 years beginning in 2000. And in both the year he won the presidency and his first year in office in the White House, Trump paid just $750 in federal income taxes. But don't give me that, please, and don't give me that thing about how he donates his, that is PR. Okay? That's not that much money to even make a dent, so stop it. Okay? Have a seat. But how did he dodge paying income taxes for so many years? The man who sold himself to you as a mega successful businessman, who ran as a master of the art of the deal, in reality reported losing hundreds of millions of dollars on some of his marquee businesses. Since 2000, this is a deal, he reported losing more than, look at that number, $315 million at his golf courses that he talks about so much. My great golf courses at $315.6 million loss. A lot of that at Trump National Doral, the resort where he wanted to host the G7 this year. Remember that story? And then he backed down in the face of outrage. At his Trump International Hotel in D.C., the one he always goes to and he touts, and people stay because they want, to get into favor with the president. He reported losing more than $55 million since it opened. Great businessman. And at Trump Corporation, a real estate services company, a business that he claims to know, real estate, he reported losing $134 million since 2000. Come on, people. Really? It's too in your face. It's so obvious that maybe you don't want to believe it. The fact is, for years, this president has been conning the American people into believing that he's a superstar businessman. Conning, fraud. Donald Trump told Sean Hannity this was in 2011. Hat tip to CNN's K file for it. Here it is.
Do you not pay any taxes? I didn't know that.
No, I pay tax. I pay a lot of tax. I just signed a big fat check recently for a lot of tax.
I hear the dripping resentment in your voice.
Well, I paid literally. I paid a lot of tax. And look, I don't mind. I'm proud to pay it. If I owe it, I pay it.
I just signed a big fat check. $750 or nothing. But while he was saying that he pays a lot of tax, that's how he says it, he's paid a lot of tax, confidential records show that starting in 2010, Trump claimed and received an income tax refund totaling $72.9 million. $72.9 million. All the federal income tax he paid for 2005 through 2008 plus interest. So it really took nerve for him to tell Hannity this the very next year.
The amazing thing is that half of the country is paying nothing, zero. And even if you don't make a lot, you should have to pay something, just something, to be a part of the game.
Really?
But half of the country is paying nothing.
Wow. Okay, so I'm going to lay out the facts for you here, right? So you can see the hypocrisy. Pay attention. This is the man who tweeted in 2012, when he was paying nothing, by the way, that half of Americans don't pay income tax despite crippling government debt. He was paying nothing. Who, in a stunning display of do as I say, not as I do, tweeted that the former president, Barack Obama, only paid 20.5%. And how about this? Donald Trump tweeting in 2012, have we ever had a POTUS before Barack Obama who earned a third of his income from foreign sources and paid taxes to another country? Okay, so in Trump's first 2 years in the White House, the Times reports his revenue from abroad totaled 73 licensing deal, 3 Philippines, 0.23 million from India, 1 million from Turkey. It's projection. When he says something about someone else, he is talking about himself. This is a man who repeatedly tweeted out pictures of himself. Look at that. Come on now. Signing returns. It's a con, everyone. Implying he was making huge contributions to America when he was actually paying zero. Zero. It's a con. This is a man who, before the inauguration, his inauguration, when he paid a grand total of $750 in federal income taxes, claimed he was handing over control of his empire to his 2 oldest sons while maintaining ownership and refusing to let reporters examine the prop piles of paper that amounted to nothing but a house of cards.
These papers are just some of the many documents that I've signed, turning over complete and total control to my sons.
A lot of paper on the desk, great for pictures, house of cards. It's all an act. This is a man who, in 2016, in a 2016 debate with Hillary Clinton, claimed not paying federal income tax means he's smart.
Maybe he doesn't want the American people, all of you watching tonight, to know that he's paid nothing in federal taxes, because the only years that anybody's ever seen were a couple of years when he had to turn them over to state authorities when he was trying to get a casino license, and they showed he didn't pay any federal income tax. So
That makes
if
me
he's
smart.
paid zero, that means zero for troops, zero for vets, zero for schools or health.
Admit it, he said it to you. That makes me smart. He was looking at her like, thinking, how do you know that? Did he come up with something that makes me smart? What does that make you dumb? Because you pay your fair share of income tax. If that makes him smart, that means you're dumb. This is a man who actually said out loud that he fights like hell to avoid paying a lot of taxes.
I think they'll be surprised at how
Lower or
little I
higher
pay.
than
No, they're going to
expected?
be surprised at how little I pay. I fight like hell not to pay a lot of tax.
He was on The Apprentice. So that's important because that reality TV show was his lifeline. He saved his business by acting like a businessman on TV. He made $427.4 million, but as an entertainer and marketer who sold his own name, not as the mogul he claimed to be. The crown jewel of his so-called empire, Trump Tower, isn't what it seems either. There's a $100 million mortgage coming due in 2022. Trump has paid interest on the loan, but nothing on the principal. The president, far from the billionaire that he claims to be. He's personally responsible for loans and other debts totaling $421 million. Isn't that the money that that's like the amount he initially got from his dad? Like I said, he just invested that. $421 million. Most of it coming due in 4 years, during what would be his second term if he wins re-election. Yet he says, quote, I am extremely under-leveraged. I have very little debt compared to the value of assets. Another con, because here's the fact. This president owes a staggering $421 million, and we don't know who that money is owed to. We know he has made millions from projects in foreign countries. But the president literally walked away from the question today.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Dun-dum, dun-dum, dun-dum. Why didn't they play that music right there? Dun-dum, dun-dum. Money, 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 money. He owes money. Andrew Weissman, who worked on the Mueller investigation, tweeting a reminder today of what the president's son Eric reportedly told a Gulf reporter about funding Trump courses. Quote, well, we don't rely on American banks. We have all the funding we need out of Russia. Eric Trump has denied making that remark, but you've got to wonder. So the truth is, this president is not the business genius he pretends to be. Let's not forget what the president's former fixer, Michael Cohen, told Congress.
It was my experience that Mr. Trump inflated his total assets when it served his purposes, such as trying to be listed amongst the wealthiest people in Forbes, and deflated his assets to reduce his real estate taxes.
Donald Trump has been gaming the system for years. The system he loves to claim is rigged against him. The Biden campaign putting out this ad in response. Donald Trump has been conning America for years. His business record is a sham. He's deeply in debt. He's not a good businessman. He just plays one on TV. And when he made money that way, as lucky as he is, he didn't want to pay his fair share. He asked for $72 million back from the American people while you pay up year after year. You wonder when that bill will come due. When? Caitlin Collins, our White House